Do your intro, Daniel. I'm not good at that.
Welcome to the Tetris Tournament Online 5 Losers Bracket Round 2. This is a match between Vince L and one Pundan, otherwise known as OPM. The American player, primarily known for his fancy spins and offensive timing. OPM is a very technical player, and taking advantage of his opponent's mistakes. And this is the first match of the game. Both players are off to full start, unfortunately.
So how'd their warm-ups go? I mean, I know they were in a private room, but were they still playing while they were still in this room? Like once they sent the link?
They each won one warm-up game in this room,
Okay.
and it was like full of misdrops.
That's TF for you. Not really anything you can do to
OPM
fix
with a
that.
nasty misdrop there. I don't really see him getting out of that.
No. Nah.
He almost put it.
Yeah, I mean, he would have needed a J piece, and I already saw like 2 J pieces in his stack, so that would mean that, next one isn't coming for at least like another 5 pieces.
Tell us a bit more about Vince's play style, given that you know him a little bit better.
I mean, both of them have okay, so with Vince, I think he does go for that like hyper aggressive APM kind of style. Everything that he sends at you is very clean. Although, whoa, is that a center 4 wide? Okay, Vince.
Too, but he made that terrible mistake.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe he's trying to mix it up. I mean, I think he knows what OPM is going to expect from him, so maybe he's trying to change up the strategies. Good plan going in, but it all depends on his execution. OPM, as we saw with his match with Squirtle, is capable of the center 4 wide as well. He's a very well-rounded player in my opinion. He's got PCs, good back-to-back game. The only thing that I would say that Vince has over him definitively is probably his speed, although it is offset by the fact that Vince does misdrop a bunch on TF, which is unfortunate. But it'll be an interesting match to see. I mean, if we were to give them any equivalents to like different players, I'd say their styles very much mimic Yui Metal in terms of OPM, because he does have a focus on timing. And as I said in the previous commentary with OPM versus Squirrel, he has been working on his down stacking a lot. Vince, on the other hand, his style works very well when he doesn't misdrop and when he converts his misdrops into APM. Very APM.
Yeah, Vince can see a lot of spins easily, which helps him get out of certain situations and also gives him that little extra juice when he needs to spike his opponent out. So, and his offensive timing is pretty good as well.
No, for sure. Yeah, like you definitely don't want to give him enough room, and you definitely don't want to send him too much garbage. Otherwise, he'll capitalize on that, accept all of that, and I think he thought that was a T-spin. But that's what I was saying. He is capable of converting those misdrops into APM, as we saw him convert that misdrop into a TSD. That's what I'm talking about, and I think I don't know if he's been doing it recently, but he's definitely doing it a lot better than I've seen him do it in the past, which is definitely gonna go into his favor.
OPM with some really nice defensive timing there. He almost certainly would have died had he not timed his defense well. Unfortunately, he makes a misdrop, but he fixes it promptly with an S-spin.
That was an interesting choice by him. He chose not to use that eyepiece to fill in the hole, instead using it for a T-spin double setup. Oh, that misdrop might cost him if OPM can capitalize.
With that massive downstack combo.
Yeah.
Vince had access to his garbage hole.
Look at those
that was a nice
T-spins.
spin.
Yeah. OPM has a pretty good proficiency at his T-spin vision. I think he was actually practicing that against in preparation of Squirtle, his T-spin vision. But then, as we saw, had to go with the center four wide strategy because he decided that on Tetris Friends, especially accounting for lag, you can't really depend on factors like that, such as back to backs, to work out for you. So we'll see how it plays out in this one.
It's that game with his massive APM. He was just relentless the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
OPM was on the defensive. He had some really nice timing there, but
Oof.
Vince won out.
Vince with all the misdrops right now. Okay, conversion into a TSD. Very nice.
Light misdrop, pretty easy to fix here.
Yeah. Oh, did that look like a glitch to you on Opium's side? I'm not sure, really.
To knock out Vince. I mean, not like for him to die, but
right.
You can look at.
Okay. I have to review that afterwards, but Opium was able to clinch that out with a back-to-back reverse spike. That's when you accept all of your opponent's spike and then, yeah, exactly.
Instant 17 lines.
Those reverse spikes, though, they can be pretty punishing. You have to stabilize your stack, and at the very least, you have to have something to cancel, at least like a Tetris at least, if they're going to have a possibility of surviving. You want to be able to set yourself up for a winning position. Otherwise, you can experience like the same thing that Vince went through there with the reverse spike that Opium sent over to him, which is why things like perfect clears probably aren't the optimal strategy against high APM players, and especially fast high APM players.
Yeah, they'll just get access to the garbage more quickly, and then they'll reverse spike it back to you.
For sure.
That's very bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm seeing Opium using a lot of combos to try to offset Vince's stack there, you know, like send him a lot of messy garbage, but it looks like he's getting punished for that because not only is Vince sending a lot more, but he's also faster too. So I think something that Alex said to me once is you should never try to send cheese unless you know that you can send it. So, you know, things like 3 combos or, you know, those triples and stuff, you really have to send a lot of them over to your opponent. Otherwise, if they're going with the back-to-back style, they can easily cancel that with just one Tetris. And you're not just going to build just one. You're going to build multiple ones.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you send a small combo and they block it out with a Tetris and a T-spin, you'll be getting some cheese on your side of the field.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the difference between the Tetris and T-spin minus your combo will turn into cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like whenever Vince experiences a misdrop, he just turns it into a T-spin double or a T-spin single. It's a good APM output. Yeah.
It's because he's misdropped so many times for so long. You can see it.
Mm-hmm. Opium looking like he's playing that safer style. Look at this. Like a T-spin single there.
Combos.
Yeah. I think he's respecting Vince's APM a lot. He knows he can't beat him in terms of the APM game. Not only are they both very efficient, but he understands that Vince is faster than him. And something he told me once when he was practicing against me against Vince and giving me advice whenever I had to face Vince, because I had trouble facing Vince's APM, was that he decides just to accept all of Vince's clean garbage and then send it all back. The basic premise of his strategy. I wonder if that's what he's doing now with all those empty combos and stuff that he's trying to send over.
Certainly, like, sending more messy garbage than usual. I think if being a slower player, that's a pretty good strategy because you won't win by upstacking unless you're more efficient.
For sure, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty hard to be more efficient.
Yeah, if you're the slower player, then you definitely have to play a lot smarter. It's an unfortunate compromise that you have to make with your style, but if you want to win this match against those kind of players, then you're going to have to work. Oh, that was a glitch for sure. Yep, that was a glitch.
I think One Punch Man just doesn't have the experience being the slower player because he doesn't seem to be able to, like, he's getting a lot of cheese and it's his fault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, Vince isn't really, you know, trying to make his map ugly, but
Yeah, it's
Opium's
interesting
just
though,
not
because in the chat
blocky
there he
enough.
said he experienced a weird freeze, so that might have had an impact on whether or not he accepted. Because there have been games I've played with Opium before where he said that my screen freezes, but his looks fine to me, so it could be internet issues, to be honest.
If that happens, then like his screen is fine on yours, but like for him, yours is frozen.
A little bit of a misdrop there by Opium, but he was able to clear it through. Uh, just basic back-to-back into short combos, into little TSDs by Vince. I think Vince's strategy is very solid in this matchup right now. You know, he's mixing up his back-to-backs. Look at that. See? Those conversions. Very nice. That's what I
So
like to see.
effective.
Yeah, exactly. And look at like Opium's field over there. It looks like garbage right now. Doesn't really leave him a whole lot of options to downstack no matter how efficient you are. But I don't know. What do you think, Alexandra? Like, do you think... what do you think of Opium's play right now? He definitely needs to
Um,
work on his downstacking. He needs to have good timing. Do you think he's effective enough in this avenue?
I think it comes down to kind of like lucky misdrops. Like they're both having the same number of misdrops, but
Right.
Vince is able to convert them within 1 to 2 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Opium is not.
Yeah. So it just
So
looks
it's
like...
kind of like, even though they're making the same number of misdrops, one
oof.
is getting
So
a
many
little
perfect.
luckier. Yeah.
I do feel like Vince is converting his downstacks and most importantly his misdrops into attacks. And I've said it before, that's the most important thing. A good player is able to attack and defend at the same time, similar to the
Hmm.
same sense that you should always be able to stack and downstack at the same time.
And I said Vince was getting lucky, but if you see this consistently,
Oof,
it's
that was a
not
nice
really luck,
conversion.
is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like his skill.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
feel like he's pretty skilled at converting his drops into T-spin singles and doubles.
Yeah, and we
And
also
Vince
have
is
to...
one of the best ultra players, isn't he?
I would
I don't
expect
think
so. Yeah.
people realize it, but he has a private channel where he uploads his ultra modes, and I think he might be at least one of the top 3 record
Right.
holders.
Yeah, I wouldn't uh, think
And he
otherwise.
doesn't
Yeah.
combo at all. It's all T-spins. Like there's a way to get high scores with combos,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It's only T-spin.
Although that doesn't mean he's not capable of doing that
Yeah.
in multiplayer when it's necessary for sure. And I do think he's become a more versatile player than in previous years that he's entered TTO, especially since he's been saying that he's been practicing with Japanese players such as Ajunba and Megaroki and Aisu whenever he can. So naturally, he would need to convert his style because they just clean through the clean garbage that Vince is able to send.
Another
Well,
thing to know about Vince is that he is probably
Oof.
one of the first players outside of Blink to get recognized from the Japanese community.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I remember him reaching 6th Dan in one of the Danisen tournaments.
He also got. I don't know if the viewers know who Subversive is.
Oh,
But
right, yeah, they
Subversive
used to
once
be
said
practice
that
partners.
Vince was the best American player.
Mm.
oh,
Yeah, they used to practice heavily with one another. At least that's what Vince has told me.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the people that are around you, the people that you get to practice with, I think has an impact on your play and definitely could give them inspiration for what to incorporate into their styles. I've been seeing a lot of that in Vince's play lately. You know, like he's one of the only players that I've seen with such high APM that would be able to match players such as Megaroki that we've seen in the past, APM monsters.
But Vince was not always this fancy.
Oof.
When I met him ago,
Mm-hmm.
he was still just doing, basic pieces.
Yeah,
Well,
for
I
sure.
mean, they were a little bit more fancier,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, he
not
used to go
as
for crazy
good.
setups in like the mid
Hmm.
game. It was ridiculous, and I told him straight up, you got to get a little more practical, man, because you're not gonna
But
be
I
able to get through all of this.
but I think it's because he stuck with being crazy all the time that now he's able to see things that, people who are practicing the traditional things are not able to see.
Yeah, like we just saw, he just did a super T spin or a C spin, I think it's called.
I have no idea.
Spin that looks like a C.
Are you trying to say?
Paying attention to Vince's screen, but that's what a C spin is. It looks like a giant C on the left side.
Oh, really?
I just called it a super T spin. That was like the first name that was given for it. At least like that's the first name that was given to me for it. So that's what I like to call it. C spin just I don't know, man. It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
See.
Yeah, see no, just I don't see the appeal. It's a super T spin, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, it looks like both players are in pretty good positions. Vince with like a T-spin triple into a T-spin double into a T-spin triple again. All right, man.
Wow. Really has great T-spin foresight.
He does,
But
but it
look
doesn't
at
even
that.
look like it did anything to Opium's field. He's playing so safe. He's just maintaining his stack at the bottom, trying to cancel out everything. Like, look at those big spikes. I don't
Oh,
think he has
no.
a real choice, really. Unless Vince
OPM with
misdrops.
a
Oh,
misdrop as well.
oh no.
No.
Oh, oh no.
No.
Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. Well,
But this drops are just I don't know, you can't really get out of those.
But that was a good match up until that missed drop.
no, for sure.
It was one of the longer matches, no?
I can't say for sure. I haven't been focusing on the time, to be honest.
They were talking during the match.
Yeah, these players are very familiar with each other's styles, so it's very much like just another day in the lab today. You know, they might even try like new things against each other. I think at this point they're just trying to put on a good show.
I wonder why they're not forwarding.
I mean,
Neither of them is like, consistent enough for it to be an
Do you
efficient
think they're
strategy.
fully bad at forward? That's why they're not doing it.
I think
They're
they
not
rely
consistent
more
enough.
on. I think this is a game where you need to rely on consistency, and as we saw with Opium's four wide in the Squirrel match, definitely isn't nearly as consistent as it needs to be able to use it in.
Oh, no.
Those misdrops.
Oh,
Oh, that
No.
spin though, very nice, but it wasn't enough. Opium was able to see that he.
That was fancy.
I know. Very nice. That didn't even dawn on me as an option, to be honest. Oh, but Opium on a 3-game win streak. He's definitely figuring out Vince's style, playing a little more careful. It looks to me like Opium is definitely the one playing with less misdrops here than Vince is.
Do you think he slowed down a bit?
Vince or Opium?
Opium.
Opium. I mean, he's not traditionally a fast player, so I can't imagine he would need to. He's always relied more on efficiency, timing, making sure that his stacks are clean, as opposed to just blatant speed.
Really?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like he even said himself, he thinks his style mirrors, in terms of players, his style mirrors most to Yui Metal's style. At least that's a direct quote from him.
yeah, I believe he told me that as well. He's very calculated.
Yeah.
Get that nice downstack combo from Opium.
Sure, that was an interesting choice by Vince, but he was able to convert. Oh, I like that. Okay, all right, bud. Okay, you fancy.
one word were to describe him, it'd be fancy.
Looks to me like his down stacking is definitely improved as well, just based off of.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
wow. All right, bud. Okay.
He killed it. Oh my god.
Man, he's pulling out all the tricks against Opium here. Opium's still able to cancel through most of that, to be honest. Like, he doesn't look like he's having trouble keeping up like we saw him in the beginning of the match. Yeah. Oof. Vince is not in a very good position here. He needs the right pieces to get out. Couldn't open that hole up for that that clear garbage, unfortunately. Opium was able to capitalize. And I think this is the strength of Opium. He plays it safe, and then when he finds that his opponent is in trouble, he usually is able to find the back-to-back spikes to be able to clutch it out. And now the score is all tied up, 7-7.
Perfect clear from Opium, and Vince has a lot of clean garbage to work with, unfortunately.
You know, I wonder why he didn't start down stacking right away after he received that garbage. Because he clearly was just going to receive it. But he blocked the hole.
Opium with a 5-game win streak. Congratulations, Chad.
That misdrop, though. Yeah.
He fixed it pretty easily.
Yeah, nice little conversion.
Who do you guys think is going to win?
I mean, like, the score is like.
Oh. That was a pretty nice conversion by Vince. I'm liking the setups that he's been making. Vince with his T-spin setups, like, they've been very creative so far.
Yeah. You know, I really want to address that Opium is actually really fast.
I mean, there are limitations to Tetris Friends that limit the speed that you can play in, and Opium admitted himself that on Tetris Friends he plays more at like a 2 PPS pace than he does on Justress or smoother versions of the game.
That is not 2 PPS. Look at his screen.
Opium?
Mm-hmm.
2.5 PPS. A bit faster, but Opium is not slow either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's slow. A relativity here, and Vince is faster. There's.
You guys are focusing on the wrong game. This is TF, guys. Other games' sprint times don't apply. Guys, please. I know you think that, you know, just because you're fast at Justress, you're fast at every other game. That's not the case, guys.
Well, I'm just going by his TF arena stats. The TPM.
Oh, look at that downstack Opium just did. That was really
His
smart.
downstacking is really improved, actually, like, considerably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he knows when to stop the combo because a lot of mistakes that players make when they're downstacking is that they go for the bigger number of combos but they sacrifice their feel.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's been
you have
what
to kinda
Vince has been doing.
You have to kind of decide whether that 5 combo is worth it or stop at a 4 combo but with a pretty feel.
Yeah, I think the important thing, though, is that after you do that combo, you have a plan out of it. And I think Vince is definitely doing that to great effect. Extending his APM combos and such. Opium, that was... I thought that was a side 4-wide there. It looks like he converted out of it into some T-spin double setups.
With some.
Oh my god, was that a side 4-wide by Vince? At least like an attempt at it?
You know, I feel like every time Vince stacks a 4 wide, he does like a 2 combo or something. He might as well just, like
Yeah, it seems to
not
me
stack.
it seems to me like his combos are bigger when he doesn't do that. Just a
Yeah.
normal down stack combo is already effective enough. He's not really getting anything out of those 4 wides.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
A
Just
lot of
shows
back and forth here.
oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
right now it seems like Opium is kind of the one pressuring now.
For
instead of
sure. Yeah, I
Vince.
do think that the misdrops that Vince is doing is slowing him down a lot, and because of that, his parity is suffering a little bit. He constantly has to readjust, and that's not very good.
Yeah. And Opium is just playing really clean.
I think that was his emphasis coming into this match. I'm sure he plays clean, so he doesn't.
I used to think that Opium was a really messy player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Why do you say that?
He. Well, this is outdated. Remember
Right.
that I haven't played for a while.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely a cleaner player these days. At least from just judging by his play right now, is keeping his stacks very clean. Trying to.
Like just a year ago, when I used to watch Opium, like his stack wasn't stable. Like it was clean, and then he would place one block wrong, and then it would be
Okay.
everything would just start.
So he wasn't consistent in his cleanliness. Okay.
But now it seems like he's able to keep consistent.
Yeah, I do think that the downstacking practice he's put in has definitely helped him with that. Like I've said, nice little conversion by Vince for that T-spin double. But I do feel as though that the downstacking practice, he's been doing daily sub 40 runs, sub 40 piece runs. Nice conversion again by Vince, man. But yeah, I definitely think that trains your mindset in a certain way, and he's very mindful of that, which has been helping him, especially in incorporating it into TF. The garbage, typically, if you don't get any Swiss cheese, is very easy to downstack. Even in this situation, I do think that he won't have any trouble, especially since he is at the bottom of the field. Although he did give Vince a chance to spike him out. I spoke too soon. Damn it, commentator's curse.
No, it's just you.
I don't think so.
So the score is 10-10.
And yeah.
Pretty close game. I mean, this is playing out exactly how I thought it would in my mind.
This is where the players break.
Well, yeah.
Opium and Vince have lost with a lead, or equal scores, and then once it hits the double digits, they start choking.
Yeah, I think it's a difficulty with mental fortitude around these levels, because you can't ever just have like a sigh of relief. You just have to play it out, and I think sometimes players, once they get to a safe area, they just get a little too comfortable, and that's never a zone you want to get in.
And they have to maintain focus for a long period of time, especially when the match is very close.
Yeah, both players playing pretty solid right now. T-spin single by Opium. Oh, nice little conversion there by Opium into a TSD as well. Oof.
Saw that Vince had a large spike, so Vince with the misdrop there, but I think he'll be able to get out because OPM didn't have anything.
Oh no, misdrop.
Practice, JPs.
I love how they're just talking to each other in the middle of the game. It's like, what happened there? I made a mistake. Just trying to justify why they lost or why they won.
It's the first time. I think usually the players are silent during the match.
Yeah, it's giving me flashbacks like Fran S and Blinks game where they just shouted out weeby little anime moves at each other.
Oh my god. I don't even want to watch that video.
Why not?
Yeah,
They
I
pulled out
really like
Bankais and
that.
Rasengans all over the
Oh
place.
my god.
Gross.
And I really like Frannis. Like, watching him is really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's even more impressive given that he uses a controller to play. Oh,
That
nice.
makes me really sad.
That he can be that good with a controller.
Yeah, and here I am with the keyboard. Oh no. Opium took another round.
Up, it's 12-10 now.
Oh no.
It's all falling apart. I mean, not really. It's still pretty close considering the
It's
score.
still very close.
Yeah, it's still very doable
Oh,
unless he
no.
misdrops like that.
No. He can get out.
This drop.
Yeah.
There's nothing built up on OPM's side of the field.
I
So-
wish someone would tell, like, Vince, it's okay, keep calm.
Yeah. Maybe he is. I mean, he is saying a lot of things in chat. I think he is calm. It's not so much nerves, just, lag or, just general misdrops from perhaps playing too fast. That could also be a thing. That it's really hindering his play right now.
No,
But
but
all those
Vince has
teaspoons.
always done poorly.
I don't know about that,
Both
bro.
have, like, some
Oh.
nasty fields.
Yeah, he's making some wonky decisions there. Very risky, but I don't know how he got out of that. That's
Because
insane.
both of them misdropped.
Ah, okay.
Really
Oh,
nasty
well,
fields.
okay. Oh, no!
Yeah. Nice.
I think Opium decided not to do a T-spin double to accept something there. Okay, looking clean right now. I'm surprised, dude. I'm surprised this game is still going on. Oof.
Than what it
Oh
had
no. Oh no.
Oh, lots of
No.
pressure coming in.
Yeah.
There's definitely no commentator's bias over here. Definitely none at all.
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean,
been. Oh, not fine.
Opium was able to close that game out, but that was some insane downstacking and surviving on Vince's side.
No, I mean, I was saying no to both of them. No.
Man. But yeah, I mean, dude, the misdrop. He always opens with a TSD and a misdrop. This is.
No, but-
Oh my god, another misdrop. All right, man.
But I do think that Vince actually does choke in the tournament.
Oh, for sure.
As
Yeah.
you can see, in the beginning, he was very clean. He was pressuring constantly. Even
Yeah.
with his misdrops, he was still pressuring. But right now, he's just unable to keep,
Yeah.
his composure.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, Vince is one of those players that chokes on his own spit. It's unfortunate, really.
That is such a gross way to put it.
It's an effective analogy, though. It got you
No,
thinking.
it's not.
It definitely is, because we're talking about it right now.
Oh my god.
All right.
Bit of
Both
cheese
players
on his
bring-
side of the field, but
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
gonna
look,
get out of it
Opium's still
easily.
constantly trying to cheese Vince out, and Vince is kind of letting him with those misdrops. Like, we keep seeing Opium cheese the field with like TSDs, triples, and stuff, and then those kind of moves. And now, afterwards, if he's not in a safe position, then he'll just convert back from the back-to-backs that he's
that's
doing.
working because Vince does misdrop
Mhm.
occasionally, and those misdrops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There,
Like, that's
Wow.
definitely an effective strategy on Opium's side. Like even what he did here. I think that was a 3 or 4 combo with like a Tetris in there.
Mhm. Did
Yeah.
you guys
Is
just
any
see how
block? No.
Opium just survived all that?
Yeah, that was pretty
I
insane.
showed you that. He had the eyepieces and he timed everything perfectly to
Uh,
pull out all the garbage.
yeah.
Oh, about.
Oop, hurry up, garbage. Is this the first time that it's happened in this match? It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out, huh?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Oh no.
Oh my god. The pausing. He just paused, gave up right there.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Is this top 16?
Block your garbage hole like that.
I have no idea. Like, is this round of top 8, maybe?
This is the second round of the losers bracket right now. So
Okay.
this is they are top 12 advancing to top 8.
Ah, okay.
Okay, well this is game point.
Yeah, for Opium, it's I think 14 to 10. Oh, yeah, those misdrops, man. I don't know about this. He hasn't been able to fix them throughout the entire game. He's been suffering a lot because of that. Looks like he is slowing down. Yeah.
He is.
We saw him just like with that eyepiece with the Tetris. He definitely tried to stall it out. I think he's feeling the pressure. This is it, guys.
Defensively, because there's really not much room for error.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like do or die at this point. The mental fortitude it takes to come back from 14-10 down is pretty difficult. He's got to win 4 in a row.
He did it.
Yeah.
Just look at Megaloki.
Yeah. I don't know how he did that. 9-game win streak. That's pretty insane. It's
Was it against Aizu?
yeah, it was against Aisu.
What makes it even more stunning,
Megaroki's games are amazing to watch.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Vince will follow suit. Maybe with like a 6-game win streak to win it out 16-14. You never know.
Don't curse him.
Oh, right. I mean, he's definitely not going to do that.
Yes. Root for Opium.
Yeah, go Opium.
Oh no.
Once Opium wins, I can go sleep.
See, just looking at Vince's field, it's really amazing how he can just
convert everything into an attack.
Everything into T-spin doubles.
Yeah, but his
look at that
kryptonite is
feat.
just the misdrops, man. Like,
Nice down stack combo, and now chaining it into a spike.
oof.
Oh wow.
Vince got out, and he down stacked through all of it.
If he can, ooh, this is gonna be a big spike.
Oh. Is the comeback on, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, it's...
So Vince.
Opium's like 16.
Oh, those mind games, yo. You didn't have to say that. Now the pressure's on.
This is like passive trash talking.
I know, right? It's like so passive aggressive, guys.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the Australians are really passive.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Are you like throwing shade at an entire nation right now?
It tilts me.
It tilts you when you whine about it on stream.
Uh-huh. So Australians tilt Alex, guys. You heard it here first.
No.
And to put the finishing touches on this match. Ooh.
All right. It does look like Vince is playing a lot more solid. He didn't open with a misdrop this round. Okay. Oh man, Opium just like knows when to accept. Like you saw him just like hold that piece just to accept the Tetris there. He's always looking for more output that he can accept.
Held the piece so he could take Vince's garbage and send it back.
Yeah. Very effective at seeing those. Constantly aware of his opponent's field, attacking when he can.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
That's not a good miscount, but he
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good. He's got those spins. That's pretty good. I personally don't know that spin myself. I think you have to
It's just
like.
an ice spin.
I know it's an ice spin, but you have to spin it like counterclockwise and then clockwise or something, and then clockwise again. I don't know.
You just press it once.
It never works for me.
Yeah, you really have to be familiar with it, or else it'll take a while, and that's more time for your opponent to send more lines to you.
Yeah, Vince's spins on points. I'm trash. All right, guys, just he's got those spins. Looks like they're oh, I like that. Those conversions. Opium's position not really that great right now. Okay, it's better now.
You blocked that pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, this position's not so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sent so many lines this game, but Vince with the last minute push.
Yeah, Vince is making a comeback. Not excited.
Oh man, got zealed that round, Opium. You got zealed.
199 lines. That's amazing.
OPM with the perfect clear.
Ooh, that could have been deadly
Ooh, this
too if
is
Vince stacked a little too high.
Really good field for Vince.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
This
no,
is the kind of field that
explosive.
that he thrives on. Oh,
Yes.
nah, he doesn't thrive on those though.
I was just about to say the person who misdrops first.
He was able to clear through it. He lost a little bit of time, but he's still in a relatively good position. Oh, no.
no.
Okay.
Oh no. Vince.
Ah, that's not a good fix.
Oh, that's
Okay.
that's
Okay. All right.
Oh no.
Well,
Good
well.
game.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good games, guys.
Good games. OPM managed to clinch it, and we'll move on to play the winner of Hello My versus Jason 0107.
So the score ends with 15-12 OPM.
Good games, everyone.
Are there any more games tonight, or is this it?
I think we're good.
All right. Cool.
See you guys.
Bye.